Have you ever taken a bite of something that's supposed to be healthy? Maybe a slice of whole grain bread or a juicy tomato, only to find yourself feeling bloated, tired, or even achy afterward. It's confusing, isn't it? You try to do the right thing, eat well, stay active, and make smart choices. But your body doesn't always respond the way it used to. That's the part of aging no one really prepares us for. Your body changes, and so do the rules. Now here's the surprising truth most people don't hear enough. Even so-called healthy foods can turn on you after a certain age. And by that, I mean after 60. You could be eating something that worked great for you in your 40s and 50s, but now that same food could be stressing your kidneys, spiking your blood pressure, or quietly raising your risk for serious health issues. Not because it's bad food, but because your body's needs and its limits have shifted. In this video, we're going to gently walk through some of the most common foods that carry hidden risks after 60. Some may shock you, others may sound familiar but have risks you never knew about. The good news? Once you understand how these foods affect your body at this stage of life, you can make small, thoughtful changes without cutting out everything you enjoy. This isn't about restriction, it's about protection. Let's start by taking a closer look at one food that's practically everywhere, but maybe quietly working against you. Let's talk about deli meats. Yes, those convenient slices of turkey, ham, or salami that make a sandwich quick and easy. The problem? Many deli meats are loaded with sodium and nitrates. And while those two things don't always sound scary, for aging kidneys and blood vessels, they absolutely can be. Excess sodium makes it harder for your kidneys to regulate fluid balance. It can raise your blood pressure, make your ankles swell, and even increase the risk of stroke. And nitrates, those preservatives that keep the meat looking fresh, have been linked to inflammation and, in some studies, a higher risk of cancer. Now that doesn't mean you can never enjoy a sandwich again. But if deli meats are something you eat often, it might be time to start reading labels more closely. Look for low sodium or nitrate-free options. Better yet, consider baking a chicken breast and slicing it yourself. It's not about perfection. It's about giving your body a little less to fight against and a little more to thrive on. Next, let's look at something most of us grew up believing was good for our bones: milk. It's been marketed for decades as a must-have for strong bones and healthy aging. But here's the twist. After 60, many people become more sensitive to lactose. This can cause bloating, indigestion, or even inflammation that affects your joints. And the calcium in milk? It's not always absorbed as well as you'd think, especially if you're not getting enough vitamin D or magnesium to help it along. What's more, some research now suggests that too much dairy may actually leach calcium from bones rather than strengthen them, especially if consumed in excess. Now that doesn't mean you need to cut dairy out completely, but if you're relying heavily on milk thinking it's your best defense against brittle bones, it may be time to consider alternatives like almond milk fortified with calcium, or to focus more on leafy greens and safe sun exposure to support your bone health naturally. And then there's a surprising one: canned soup. You might think, what's the harm in a warm bowl of chicken noodle soup? It feels cozy, right? But most canned soups are incredibly high in sodium, sometimes packing more than your recommended daily intake in just one serving. That can silently stress your kidneys, retain excess fluid, and contribute to that tired, heavy feeling you might get in the afternoons. The tricky thing is, these are all foods that look harmless on the surface. They're familiar, convenient, comforting, and that's why they can slip past our radar. But once you start noticing how your body reacts, how you feel after eating certain things, you begin to see the pattern. That little bit of swelling in your hands, the restless sleep, the sudden tiredness. They might not be just aging, they might be clues. Now that we've unpacked a few of these everyday culprits, we'll continue by looking at more foods that are often labeled as healthy, but carry risks we don't often talk about. Now that we've opened the door to how certain everyday foods may be working against your health after 60, let's keep that momentum going. Because the more you understand, the more control you have. And feeling in control of your health at this stage in life? That's powerful. Let's talk about something sitting in nearly every pantry: white bread and refined carbs. You know the kind. Soft, fluffy slices that practically melt in your mouth. Crackers, pastries, white rice, even some breakfast cereals. The problem isn't just that they're low in nutrients, it's how quickly they turn into sugar in your bloodstream. And for older adults, this spike and crash pattern can be exhausting. It can mess with your energy levels, your mood, your sleep, even your memory. When your blood sugar rises too fast, your body releases insulin to bring it back down. Do this often enough, and over time your cells stop responding as well. That's one reason why so many seniors are caught off guard with a diagnosis of prediabetes or even full-blown type 2 diabetes, despite not feeling sick. These refined carbs may seem innocent, but they put silent pressure on your system every single day. So what can you do? You don't have to ditch carbs entirely. Just swap out the empty ones for more nourishing choices. Try whole grain bread instead of white, quinoa or brown rice instead of white rice. It's not about going on a diet. It's about feeding your body in a way that keeps your energy steady and your mind sharp. Now here's a surprising one: fruit juice. It sounds healthy, right? It says 100% juice on the label, maybe even no sugar added. But the truth is, even natural fruit juice is incredibly concentrated. When you drink a glass of orange juice, for example, you're getting the sugar of several oranges, without the fiber to slow it down. That sugar hits your bloodstream fast and hard. And for kidneys, pancreas, and blood vessels that may already be under strain, it's like adding fuel to the fire. Many seniors are trying to stay hydrated and think juice is a good way to do that. But over time, even small amounts of fruit juice every day can quietly increase blood sugar levels, contribute to weight gain around the midsection, and even speed up the aging process of your cells. If you enjoy juice, try watering it down or switching to whole fruits instead. A fresh orange or apple gives you the taste, the hydration, and the fiber without overwhelming your system. Let's pause here and talk about something really important: how all of this ties into your kidneys. The kidneys are like your body's filtration system. They work 24/7 to remove waste, balance fluids, and regulate blood pressure. But after 60, they naturally lose some of their efficiency. That's normal. But when we unknowingly load them with high sodium, high sugar, or overly processed foods day after day, it's like forcing an old water filter to clean out mud. It just can't keep up. That's why being mindful of what you eat isn't about being afraid of food. It's about protecting the organs that protect you. You don't have to be perfect, just aware. That awareness gives you choices. It gives you peace of mind. Here's another food that surprises people: grapefruit. Believe it or not, grapefruit can interfere with the way your body metabolizes certain medications, especially common ones taken for blood pressure, cholesterol, and even sleep or anxiety. Grapefruit contains compounds that block an enzyme in your gut that breaks down drugs, so the medication ends up staying in your system longer, sometimes at dangerously high levels. Most people think, it's just fruit. How harmful can it be? But if you're taking prescription medication, especially if you're on multiple drugs like many seniors are, even a half grapefruit a day can build up to serious problems. If you love citrus, oranges, or berries are a safer bet. And as always, it's worth asking your doctor or pharmacist if anything you're eating could be interacting with your meds. What we're really doing here isn't fear-mongering, it's clarity. It's giving you the kind of information that allows you to take charge of your health again. Because nobody hands you a new manual at 60 and says, here's what your body needs now. You have to rewrite that manual for yourself. But you don't have to do it alone. Food should be a source of nourishment, joy, and energy, not confusion or harm. And with just a little guidance and a few smart swaps, it still can be. Let's keep going because there are a couple more common foods that often slip under the radar, but have effects most people don't even realize are connected to aging, inflammation, or kidney health. We've already uncovered a few surprising culprits in the kitchen, but the next one is a biggie: processed meats like deli turkey, bacon, ham, and sausages. Now, I know many folks grew up having a slice of ham on Sundays or a bologna sandwich for lunch, and it's been part of their routine for decades. But here's the thing: these meats are often packed with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that your body simply doesn't handle the same way after 60. When you eat foods this high in salt and additives, your kidneys have to work overtime to filter it all out. For a younger body, that workload might be manageable. But after 60, when kidney function naturally starts to decline, the strain builds up slowly. It's not like you eat a slice of bacon and suddenly feel unwell. It's more like a slow leak in a tire, hard to notice until it's too late. High sodium doesn't just burden your kidneys, it raises your blood pressure, causes fluid retention, and can leave you feeling bloated, stiff, or even foggy-headed. If you're waking up with puffy hands or swollen ankles, it might not just be age. It could be what you had for dinner last night. A better option? Try swapping deli meats for freshly cooked chicken breast or canned tuna with no added salt. Or if you're craving something smoky, go for smoked paprika or garlic powder to bring out the flavor without the harmful extras. Now let's talk about something that seems harmless, even healthy: diet sodas and artificial sweeteners. If you're trying to cut back on sugar, it seems logical to grab something labeled zero sugar or sugar-free. But many seniors don't realize that those artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame and sucralose, can disrupt your gut health, impact blood sugar regulation, and even increase cravings for more sweets later on. Some research has shown that these fake sugars can confuse your body into thinking it's about to receive a sugar rush, triggering an insulin response that ends up doing more harm than good. Over time, this can throw off your metabolism, weaken your gut lining, and leave you feeling more tired or irritable without really knowing why. And here's the twist: studies have linked long-term diet soda consumption with increased risk of stroke and heart disease, particularly in people over 60. That's not to scare you, but it's a strong reason to rethink those afternoon sips. Water with lemon, herbal teas, or even naturally flavored sparkling water are safer bets that keep you hydrated and support your kidneys instead of working against them. Now, this next one may raise some eyebrows: canned soups. Yes, those comforting, warm bowls many of us reach for on chilly nights. But take a closer look at the label, and you'll often find 800, 900, even over 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving. And let's be honest, who eats just one serving of soup? Even the healthy or low-fat versions can be salt bombs in disguise. It's that hidden salt silently building up in your bloodstream that pushes your kidneys to the edge. And because it tastes savory and satisfying, you don't feel like you're indulging. That's why it's one of the sneakiest dangers in the kitchen. If soup is a staple in your diet, making it at home, even in large batches to freeze, gives you full control over what goes in it. A few fresh herbs, a pinch of sea salt, and some wholesome ingredients can create a bowl of comfort that your body actually welcomes. All of this might feel like a lot to take in, and maybe you're thinking, do I really have to give up all the foods I love just to stay healthy? The answer is no. You don't have to give up everything. But after 60, it's about being more intentional. Your body's needs have changed, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's an opportunity to feel more energized, to protect your kidneys, to live with less pain, less swelling, less brain fog. And the way there isn't through restriction, it's through awareness. When you start choosing foods that truly serve you, not just taste good in the moment, but support your well-being long-term, you begin to notice the difference in your joints, in your digestion, in how clearly you think and how deeply you sleep. That's what this video is really about. Not fear, not guilt. Just the gentle reminder that your health still matters. That it's never too late to start making changes that can truly add years to your life, and life to your years. So here's what I'd love from you. If something we shared today surprised you or helped you connect the dots about a health issue you've been wondering about, share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to Elderly Thrive. We're here to support you with practical, compassionate guidance so you can feel your best every day at every age.